So this practice has been used over I want to say centuries, but maybe it's millennia, to allow access to the deepest, most perceptive, tender, perceptive places within you. And, and they've been used to allow us to open more and more fully into beauty and into intuition and love and joy and ease and all of the lusciousness that so many of us, we all yearn for. So, so I'd like to suggest that you get even more comfortable, if that's possible, in your seat, allowing yourself to sit up with your spine straight to the degree to which it's comfortable for you. And I always like to invite in a sense of dignity and ease. So, however you arrange your body to find yourself with dignity and ease is what we're looking for. And I also like to cue my body to just relax back, even if it's a half a millimeter. So I don't have this kind of leaning forward tendency and momentum. So allowing yourself to relax back into yourself. And we'll begin again by bringing the attention to the breath. And let's first start with a few full breaths, some of the fullest breaths you've taken yet today, allowing the rib cage to fully expand. And if it feels good and right, you can let the exhalation go with a sighing sound. Now allowing the breath to return back to your own natural rhythm, your own unique rhythm of breath and heartbeat. And in the native Middle Eastern traditions, there's an image of a caravan. And this caravan's made up of those people and beings who have gone before us. So it's as if the past were stretched out ahead of you in this long caravan. And if you keep looking toward the head of the caravan, it just keeps going. So you actually don't ever quite see to the front of the caravan. And those who are closer to you in this caravan might be some of your ancestors, people that you knew who have gone before, drawing you forward in their footsteps in this caravan. And if it helps, you can actually kind of sway from left to right, to the left, to the right, almost as if you were on a camel. Moving on this caravan with all of those who have gone before you, prophetesses, saints, wise people, beloved family and friends. They're all drawing you forward into the wisdom of the heart. And outstretched behind you are all of those who are coming after you, your children, your grandchildren, their children, and their grandchildren. And they're all following in your footsteps as you follow in the footsteps of those ahead of you, drawing you forward onto the path. You don't need to worry about, am I going the right way? You're being pulled ahead by this heart caravan. So as you breathe in, let the breath, if you can, if your sinuses are clear enough, allow the breath to come in through the nostrils, and if you can't, that's fine. But as you breathe in, be aware of the breath flowing behind the sternum. It's that big bony part on your chest. Just allow the awareness to feel the breath washing over the sternum. And as the breath flows into your lungs, slowly and gently, bringing fresh life and light, allow yourself to become aware of the light of the breath, the light moving in behind the sternum and out. This gentle wave action of breath. And with the breath comes this light. And allow yourself to know what you're experiencing behind the sternum, behind your chest bone, in the area of your heart. Becoming aware of the felt sense. There's no right or wrong. And see if you can relax back, and you don't have to grasp after anything. Just allowing your awareness to open up. Perhaps you feel a sadness or grief. Nostalgia, passion, simply noticing, not reaching. Maybe you feel a physical sensation that feels contracted, tight, tender. Maybe there's a constriction in your breathing. Keep allowing the breath to caress this felt sense, caress the sadness or whatever it is. Maybe there's expansiveness or joy, but allowing the breath to caress whatever it is you're sensing in the heart. Like a gentle breeze caressing your cheek very tenderly. And if it feels right and useful, you can gently lay your hand on your heart, just gently, letting your hand become another sense organ for what's happening in the heart. Letting the light of the breath shine in just here behind the sternum, letting it shine. And with your kind, loving attention, simply noticing what you're experiencing. And when the attention wants to wander, see how tenderly you can bring it back, kind of like a little tiny puppy that you're training to stay. You just invite it back. Invite the attention back to the breath, the light washing behind the sternum with the breath over the heart. And allowing the breath now to be like a bellows, which it's like blowing on the ember of the heart. Using your breath as the bellows, allowing the heart to grow lighter and lighter and brighter. Continuing to breathe upon the heart with such love and care. And perhaps you're noticing a shift, perhaps. And it's okay if you're not. For some people, things might shift, and for others, there might be just a neutral feeling. That's okay. There's no right or wrong. We're just simply noticing. Maybe you are noticing a warmth or a decongesting of a stuck area. Allowing the in-breath to soften and penetrate the heart. And it's a gentle, tender penetration. And allowing the out-breath to release whatever is not needed in this moment. Any tightness or holding, any old stories or impressions that might not be useful in this moment. Allowing whatever is not needed to ride out with the out-breath. So softening on the inhalation and releasing on the exhalation. Continue to breathe upon the heart. And as it softens more and more, allowing the in-breath to penetrate the heart even more fully, more deeply. And as you penetrate the heart with your tender breath, you may begin to notice, you may or may not, begin to notice that your perceiving self is descending from the head and is now sitting in the heart. Or maybe there's a foot in both places, or some awareness at both levels. But more and more, the perception is moving toward the heart. If love were a sound, what would you be hearing? If love were a smell, what would you be smelling right now? If love were a taste, what would make your mouth water right now? If love were a touch, what would you be feeling? If love were a sight, what would you be seeing right now? The heart is a exquisite sense organ. That sometimes our busyness or our fear or our unworthiness, our sense of unworthiness, kind of shutters the perception of the heart. And perhaps now you're able to, at least in part, or maybe fully, sense from the perspective of the heart, relating to the worlds within and without from the throne of the heart, the Malika of the heart. You are practicing and we are developing together the eye and the ear and the tongue and the sensing of the heart. Allowing the in-breath to soften and the out-breath to release more and more. Release even more. Perhaps you'll experience or you're experiencing an inner space to the heart. Allow yourself to become intimate with your heart cave. Simply noticing. And for some of us, some folks, the chest cavity might seem larger than usual, larger than its normal size of your normal awareness. And as you breathe, you may become aware that this space of the heart is accentuated and develops and unfolds boundlessly. The boundless space of the heart is both inside of you and outside. Perhaps the distinctions between inner and outer are blurring. We call this the domain of the heart. I like the image of the heart cave, this private place that's available to you with every breath and every heartbeat. Some experience this vast, boundless domain as a fullness or an emptiness. Some may experience this boundless domain as an ocean teeming with the most wondrous and the most scintillating and the most luminous and the most subtle of structures. You are now approaching those secrets that great mystics in past worlds were said to have placed in the heart. These secrets are available to you. We just need to relax back and soften and listen. Remembering the light. And let's look around, let's explore a bit. What is it like to be in the heart cave? Who are you in this place? What qualities of life are here for you to discover? From the perspective of the heart cave, with the eyes of the heart cave, or this domain, how are the issues that you are working with, the challenges, the things we struggle with, how are they affected by this perspective? What new information is available to you? If your eyes are closed, with great care and awareness and kindness, let's open the eyes and become aware of our two worlds, the seeming outer world and the vast domain of the heart simultaneously. You can maintain your ability to hold both worlds through your presence and through your breath. With your eyes open, you can strengthen your connection with the heart by orienting your breath to the heart as you breathe in. And this is such a great reminder with every in-breath to orient yourself toward the heart. And may we allow this, the heart, be the meeting. May we allow this domain of the heart to be the meeting place where we meet. A meeting place for your presence and the presence of people you love and for people who challenge you. And I'm going to ring the bell now 3 times, and when you no longer hear the sound of the bell, bring yourself back into our Zoom room heart space with eyes open. I know it's hard to kind of pull out of that place, but I'm hoping that maybe we can explore together what that was like for you. What did you notice? There's no right or wrong. Anybody have any questions? And if you want to say something and you don't know how to unmute yourself, you can just raise your hand and Alyssa can unmute you.
And okay, you can hear
We
me
hear you.
okay?
Yes.
Um, and it was very peaceful, but I couldn't really feel my heart and my breath. And there have been other times, especially when I sit outside and I hear birds, where I feel more present and expanded in my heart. And I really would have liked to feel that feeling, but I didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was peaceful. But I would really like to go deeper and opener in the heart.
Well, yeah, and it sounds like you had an experience, and maybe it's not the one you were hoping for. There was a Zen teacher by the name of Sherry Huber who said something to me like 15 years ago. Maybe you've heard this a million times. I say it all the time. The two of the greatest sources of human suffering are it shouldn't be this way, and it's never enough. So we
So,
want more of what feels good, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to stay in that place, go
Yeah.
back to it. Yeah, and I just didn't access it the way I wanted. Yeah,
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
yeah.
So, so you access this place rather than that place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Anybody else? Is there anybody else who had their hand? Oh, Donna, did you get your? Looks like you turned off one of your devices. Can we try it again? Alyssa, can you unmute her? Oh, there we go.
I didn't want to disturb the atmosphere that had been created by the meditation, and obviously my phone allowing me to hear you created a horrible sound. But anyway, and that was essentially all I wanted to say, was that I was just feeling so. And I guess I really still am. I guess I can go right back there. And I guess it probably is the heart space that you've taken us to with this meditation. I ah, uh, my heart hurts constantly these days, and it's a good hurt. um, um, so yeah. Um, so I'm very grateful, and that's really all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you, Donna Habiba. Yeah, this is a time of a lot of hurt, a lot of heart hurting. Yeah. And I really appreciate your willingness to welcome the pain, not just the stuff that feels good, but to welcome the pain. Because, as Rumi said, this being human is a guest house. So we get all of this deliciousness in every form. So thank you. Thank you. And Janice, I saw that you said maybe we could try using the chat box. If anybody would prefer to chat, type something into the chat box, you can do that. Or you can raise your hand and Alyssa will probably unmute you.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
yeah. Am I unmuted now?
You are, yes, you're live.
Can
We
I?
hear you.
Raising my hand. Well, I just, I thought when Donna was having some problems, that might be a way to get around it if she couldn't figure out,
Gotcha.
but she figured it out. So
Yeah.
it was very profound for me. I'm often one of those people who feel like in meditations, there's a group experience, everybody's sharing all the stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't really have much of an experience. So, but maybe it was because I had Chase here today. And and we made cookies. But when you started talking about, you know, the smell and the person and the taste, and my grandmother baked, she lived with us. My mother's mother lived with us my whole life, and she baked all the time. And so it was like I was just right there with her, you know, with the cookies. And, you know, I'd often sleep with her. My mom was sick a lot of my life, so it was my grandmother that always, it was like really a very powerful experience for me. Yeah, thanks. It's great.
Oh,
And
thank
and
you.
and also there was like this sort of message where I felt when you were talking about the cave, like who's in the cave or what's in the cave or who are you in the cave. And you know, she was in the cave, but it was like my mom and my dad and, you know, all those significant loved ones, they were like all there and just giving me reassurance that they're always there and that this will be okay, that I'm okay and it'll be okay. So thank you.
Thank you, Janice. That's such a beautiful image to have your loved family in your heart cave. And one thing Asha has taught me, and I think I found this so useful, is to shift the orientation from saying there to here. They're always here with you because we're never going to get there, but we're always right here. So they're always right here with you. Yeah, thank you. That's such a, that really deeply moves me. I can relate to the smells. Thank you.
May.
Yes, May.
I really needed that practice so badly. I have never been this afraid for this long before this, and it just kind of seems to be collecting. You know, like my heart is beating faster than normal all the time. So, I mean, it was really important for me to go into the heart cave and just feel calm and peace and know that it's going to be okay. So, thank you.
Thank you, May. Yeah, to have a kind of an oasis from the anxiety and the worry that we're all, it's just the backdrop right now. And when we're in this oasis, maybe the worry and the anxiety comes in, but it's held, at least in my experience, with a larger perspective. So, yeah, thank you. Wasia.
So I did kind of doze off during some of that, but it was just what I needed because what I felt with the practice was I became aware that throughout this entire day, I've been trying to kind of force my energy and shift my energy to be other than what it was, what it is. And now in doing this practice, I was able to actually just relax back into exactly what I am actually feeling, which was that tired, which was that allowing the softening to hold what is here. And so, although my report is I fell asleep, it's exactly what I needed too. So thank you for that reminder of welcoming what is here as it is.
Thank you for your courage to share that you fell asleep. It's fine, you know. It doesn't have to be or look like anything. Yeah.
Yes, good reminder. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Asha. Welcome. Hi. Does anybody else have anything you'd like to share from your experience? Majid? Great.
The thing that I keep feeling um, is, is the loss of the souls that are leaving. Um, I just am very much aware of that, and so my heart feels like there's always a light shining, um, but I seem to have to stay present with this, um, and I don't quite understand it, but I don't feel afraid. I just feel very much a part of the surrender somehow of where we're at today. I think that's the only way I can explain it.
It's beautiful. Yeah. So you're feeling a need to, or I don't even know if it's a need, but a sense of continuing to stay with this awareness that there are a lot of souls that are leaving right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's like love that somehow needs to be expanded beyond me
Mm.
and within me. It really is just all wrapped up in there, and I really have never. I feel at peace, but I've never felt until this virus other people as much. I mean, I always worked with people who were dying, but there was more of a disconnect than there is now. There was more of a barrier, and right now there isn't a barrier for me. So
That takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to allow yourself to fully feel, fully feel sadness or joy or so thank you for your courage and sharing the generosity of your heart, Ajita. Thank you. Is there anybody else who'd like to share anything? Barbara. So I think Barbara might need some help with unmuting. Is that right? There we
No,
go.
okay,
Gotcha.
thanks.
Hi, yeah.
Hi. Um, I guess I didn't really match what you were saying exactly because I mean, I went all of those places, but I didn't really have any people in my cave. Now, the good thing was it was warm in my cave, which I was surprised when I got there because you think about caves, I always think wet, damp, but actually this was sort of like a steam room. And it was kind of warm and kind of red, but I was by myself. But I felt safe, but I also somehow I got some comfort that way anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
interestingly, Barbara, I don't think, and maybe I said it, I'm not remembering, but I don't think did I talk about bringing other people into the cave? I'm not sure I said that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe Janice had this experience, which is
Oh,
beautiful.
okay.
Yeah. So again, there's no right or wrong way.
Right.
Just feeling into your felt experience, I think is what
Okay.
we're doing.
It was good. I'm happy with it. It was intense,
Mhm.
but I'm glad.
Yeah. Thank you for the image of like the steam room. That's really
I
beautiful.
know.
Like it's very welcoming in there.
Yeah.
In here.
Yeah. In here.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right there.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you, Barbara. We just have another couple of minutes. Is there anybody else that has anything you'd like to share? Alyssa, was there anything you wanted to share? Not that you have to.
Yeah, I just want to let people know that if they want to reach out to me with any questions, my email is alyssa@presencecollective.org. And if anyone wants to be subscribed to the newsletter as well, you can email me or chat me your email and I can add you to the list.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Thanks so much, Latifa.
Yeah. Asha, was there anything you wanted to say? Is that a... Come on. You're muted. Just a second. Okay, now I think we gotcha.
Well, I'm glad to see you all, and I'm glad some more people are getting this meditation. I love it myself. And I guess I do the meditation every day now, and every day it's different. Sometimes I'm alone and there's no event whatsoever, and it's just a little slightly heavy feeling, and then sometimes I can actually expand completely out, and sometimes it's just completely different meditation. But at the end of it, I always feel like sitting still, as still as I can for when you have a perfect moment and then you just don't want to break it. That's my ultimate feeling with this practice. I love it.
Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah. And there, did you talk about this place here in the back of the sternum?
I did, but do you want to say something?
No, it's just really, if you put your hand here and you feel the bottom of your hand here for a long enough time, just breathing in and out. If you put your top finger at the bottom of the little hole here at the top of the clavicle, and then you put your fingers down where your little finger is, there's a plexus there and there's a lot of energy there.
Hey, Asha, put your camera down a little bit. We can't quite see. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, here's this hole,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a top, and then your fingers go like this, and then there's this plexus there, and it's where when your throat catches or something's breathtaking, how there's this place where your breath goes kind of funny, oh wow, or something like that. Well, that place where you experience that is behind the sternum, and so that basically to use that space to put your concentration there for a long enough time, then you start finding sensations, not emotions, but actual sensations that give you an experience of your life that's extremely direct. It's more like being a tree or a plant or a flower reaching for the sun. It takes out all the thinking part. I mean, that's one of the things I love about having moved into my heart is my brain, because the heart has as many neurons to think as the head does, and they're all connected to the head, we found out. So it's worth the time, even though it takes an enormous amount of concentration and takes time if you have a busy life, but hopefully none of you have a busy life right now. Actually, you can get bored enough to think that this is really interesting.
Thank you, Asha.
Well, thank you for
so glad you're here. Oh yeah. So unless there's anything else that's wanting to be said, I think
Well, Himayat was delighted by the way that you were teaching it. He said everybody should get into the big heart.
Great. Himayat Inayati. Is that how you say his last name or his second name?
Yeah, well, his name is John Johnson, but he calls himself Himayat because at this point he's teaching these old practices, of which this is one.
Yeah. So he was the one who put this form of the practice together. I think I wrote that somewhere, but I don't know that I forgot to say it. So thank you, Asha.
Yeah.
Okay. So next Monday evening at the same time, different teacher, and let's see how we can allow the heart to be the sense organ that leads, maybe for the next little while. See what happens. All right. Thank you. Good night.